This is BB. Uh, um, I wanted to make this short video. Right now my nose is burning really badly. It's just like every time I want to go take a shower, I think of going in the shower. I'm afraid to take a shower because when I'm in there, I feel like I want to pass out with the water. Now I was a person always who showered twice a day, every single day, and I couldn't go to sleep without taking a shower. That was a must, no matter if I was if I was drunk. Well, I wouldn't say drunk. If I was just having fun with a bunch of friends, which was like maybe 2 or 3 times a year. If I was sick, because I usually get Meniere's disease, I suffer from that, and it just spins and spins and spins, and I just go on the ground because everything goes dark. I start vomiting, so it doesn't matter how bad it is, I have to take that quick shower, that water on my body. Now I'm afraid to take a shower because when I do, I can smell it. I'm getting mouthfuls of whatever this acidic thing is. I'm noticing brown spots, like if you splatter something all on the inside of my thighs, brown spots, and it's all over, like freckles, really dark freckles. Really dark freckles. I also, like I said, in my I'm not gonna say what's happening to me, but one thing I want to say to you guys is these people, bear in mind about something. You know what's happening to you. You know that these people are attacking your central nervous system. I was traveling with my friend John. This was back in 2020. And we're sitting in a car. He was driving. And we had just come from the store or went to dinner or something happened. Somewhere we were. And I could hear he was saying, I can take care of you. You know that, right? Because he thought I was a little paranoid. And the moment I heard the words and he uttered the words like a split minute second later. I don't know how these people did that. What I do know was that I had a bump on the back of my neck, and so did he at the same time. A bump on the back of my neck, and so did he at the same time. Now, I don't know what was in that bump. If it was a rice grain, I don't know what it is. See, this rice grain will come up. These downloading, these microchips that are downloading your thoughts. Like I said, I keep repeating this because I know this is going to come up at some point in the future. How are these people doing this? It's a computer program. It's like watching Netflix. I am paying for the portal to watch Netflix. So is my neighbor, so is my other neighbor. It's the same set of movies that are being streamed. But I'm paying where I can switch on my TV. My TV is my portal to watch Netflix. Now, what if I had that TV in my head, or I had it somewhere against my artery? I'm just using this as I don't know how this is going to come together as I'm trying to explain it. But if I had it on my artery, and let's say it was a movie I wanted to download, or I wanted to see from the inside out, it would be the same thing. And then so could he, and so could she. Now imagine that this is a rice grain. The rice grain, or that TV, is now a living person. Is a living person. And Netflix is a living person. Right? Netflix is a living person. And Netflix has a small, whatever is transmitting from this Netflix box. You have Netflix box here, right? And you have, it's connected wirelessly, I guess, or wired, I don't know. But then you have, next to it, you have this living person with the Netflix box, small, tiny little thing inside the back of their head. People are hooking in via their TV to that box wirelessly, and they can hook in wirelessly to the box in the back of this person's neck. Now I don't know how this works, but with this rice grain, the rice grain theory is that if one person has it and another person has it, it's like they can actually communicate with each other. When you play these video games, you're in your living room, you got your headset on. You don't have a phone, it's your TV, right? The box that comes with it where you can access these games or that's already out there, where you can speak into it. Now imagine these boxes are getting smaller and smaller into the size of a rice grain, and these people are putting it in your neck. Now how is it gonna work? Because you're now going wireless. There's nothing hooked up to me, to my, my fingers, my toes, my nose. There's nothing, no wires that I carry around with me. There's no box that I carry around with me. I'm not plugged in anywhere. What's the one place that's always firing, pistons firing? Your head. Your head. It's always going. After 4 hours after you fall asleep, 4 hours after you fall asleep, your brain is active and it's absorbing everything around you. Then you go into a deep sleep, which is, I think, delta. 4 hours it absorbs everything before it decides, it gets bored and it goes down. Because there's nothing, it's just absorbing. It's just in watch mode. Because the subconscious mind is like a child. It's very innocent, and it's afraid. It's afraid of things that you outgrew the fear a long time ago. It's afraid of things, so it is on the lookout. It's on the watch. It is not going to go to sleep for 4 hours. So, bearing in mind, this is always firing. You have over 60,000 thoughts a day. I was watching a movie, an old movie, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee on YouTube, The Brides of Count Dracula. My mom used to love Dracula movies. And I started watching it Friday. I was watching it Friday afternoon. And over the weekend, today's Sunday afternoon, you wouldn't believe how many videos I watched. I stopped watching it at a certain point and I started watching other stuff. You wouldn't believe how many things I watch in between. And that's just YouTube. That's just YouTube. So what I'm trying to say is the brain is always going. Brain is always going. Brain is always going. So if they are putting things, these people, I can hear them. Fact. Some of you are hearing them. Fact. This is not woo-woo. This is not extraterrestrials. This is not ghosts and hobgoblins and pixies and fairies. This is technology. What is this technology? Are we going to have to undergo something where they're going to have to extract something from our heads, our necks, upper backs, lower backs? Where these people are spiteful and they will put them all over. When I say spiteful, they are, spite is thy name. They're spiteful. They're just spiteful. They hate us. You got to understand that. Understand their mindset, where they're coming from. They're coming from a place of hatred for us. They hate us. Nobody will torture you for over a year. The amount of things that I'm sure has happened to me, and it's happening to me right now, if there's not hatred involved. This is not about my money. They already stole that. They go so far as to say, well, they're trying to kill me, and by the grace of God, they're not succeeding, and they're getting more angry. Anger is one thing, but this hatred, this personal, all of them take it personally. All of them are now demented to this extent because I'm not dying. The grace of God is keeping me alive. All of them are, just getting more and more demented on the fact that the grace of God is keeping me alive without any fear of God or the police. That they're allowing themselves to get this, to wind themselves up into this frenzy of hatred. Just keep torturing me for all these years, non-stop, non-stop, non-stop. No. There's something wrong here. You notice my voice is changing also. I sound like a whiny person. Because right now I can smell like something acidic and it's just squeezing my nose. And if you can hear click, 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 click. I think behind watch behind your refrigerators, there's where it's plugged in. They'll usually push the plug if there's a crawl space, and they'll spray the back of the refrigerator with whatever these concoctions are. When the fridge is turned on, the metal gets hot, it'll permeate the whole ear. It'll cause a problem for you, respiratory problems for you. It'll burn your eyes, it'll burn your nose, it'll put your teeth on edge. All kinds of things will happen, so watch out for that. And we need to ask ourselves, what the heck is this fucking technology? It's a technology. People like you, people like me created this. What is this technology? Come on now, people, please hear me out here. Come on. Come on now. This is not time for who's the biggest TI and who's not being targeted and why they're being. This is time to get together and get down to brass tacks. Now this is the time to find out what the heck is this technology that's causing us to hear them. If they couldn't hear us and force a rapport every single day, this would hardly be happening. It's because from our end, someone observing us would think it's a monologue. It's not a monologue. Observing both ends, they'll see it's a dialogue. It's a provocation. And it's 24 hours a day. You're right about that. They take it in shifts. They take it in shifts. I was thinking this may be one Indian man. There's probably 2 or 3 of them. There's probably 2 or 3 of them. But they know who they are, and they're associated to the same group of people. So let's find out what this technology is. I will find a better analogy, a better visual, like a vision of how I see the whole thing. Like I said, my door is closed right now. I just don't feel right, and my head is hurting really, really bad. So I'll make another video later.